Hello, this is the Reading on the Rocks podcast. We are Kelsey,
Chandler,
and Morgan. We like to drink and read books and then talk about them. Welcome to the group chat.
hello, book buddies, besties, book buddies, book besties, same thing. Welcome back to another episode of Reading on the Rocks. We are doing Quicksilver Part 2. We're reading from chapter 23 to the end of the book. And to get us rolling, let's talk about our drinks. I am drinking some grapefruit tequila with a raspberry lime antioxidant sparkling water. That's how it's labeled.
Get those antioxidants, girl.
Yeah, get your antioxidants.
Healthy shit.
As healthy as tequila can be.
Yeah.
Morgan,
Offsets
what are
it.
you drinking?
I've got Imperial Sour Ale, 8%. So,
Oh, girl. Super Bowl
Crispy.
Sunday.
That was a crisp
Yeah.
can open right there.
8%, pretty stout. But I'm also out of White Claws, so we do what we can.
You work with what you got.
Yeah. What do you got, Kels?
I actually am sans alcohol this time because I ran out of my rum. So this is just a pineapple coconut sparkling water.
That's okay. Morgan's drinking enough alcohol for the both
Yeah,
of you.
I'm drinking enough
Yeah.
for all of us. Don't worry.
Thanks.
I'm going to be asleep by the end of this.
Hope not. Okay, let's recap what happened in Quicksilver, the first half. Let's see. Cesaris stole something and got busted. Got sentenced to death. Pulled King Arthur knife or sword out of a stone. Move. And made this Quicksilver pool liquefy, and in comes Kingfisher. He picked her up off the ground and brought her to his realm, and has decided that, and the king of that area has decided she is staying until she can master the Quicksilver and make all these relics so that other people can go in the Quicksilver and not die. Her and Kingfisher fight and butt heads often. Her and Kingfisher stop butting heads and come to a mutual understanding when Kingfisher fails to get her brother and brings back an old hookup. I don't know how else to explain Carrie and Swift.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they go to Kingfisher's dukedom, the place where he's a duke. I don't know. Isn't he a duke? I
Dukedom?
don't know
Did
what
you
he
say
is.
dukedom?
That's a thing.
Dukedom.
Dukedom.
Is it a thing?
Yeah.
It is a thing.
It's ridiculous. Dukedom?
Yeah, like kingdom only.
I've never heard of a dukedom.
It's because
Well,
you don't read Regency novels.
enough, yeah, Regency romances.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. A dukedom. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Morgan, why do you always just assume I'm making up words?
Dude, because first of all, you don't say it with enough confidence to make me think that you know what you're talking about. And it just sounds out of pocket. A dukedom?
Cidery?
A cidery? Yeah, cidery, to be fair, cidery makes sense now. In hindsight, some housekeeping, cidery makes sense. Dukedom, on the other hand, I've never heard that before in my life. And that's my hot
You
take.
don't read Regency novels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
Thank
I don't
God
know
I
what
got
to tell
Kelsey
ya.
on my back on this one.
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay, so
Okay,
they go
I
to
apologize.
where...
Continue.
My mic muted. They go to where they're fighting this war with the vampire phase, and she continues to work on the Quicksilver, and Kingfisher and her work something else.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a general recap of what happened. Am I wrong?
No, that was good.
No, you kinda,
That was
you checked your
the
out
first
pretty
half.
good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, how do we feel about the second half?
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
I liked it. There were a couple instances that I just don't think made sense in the story,
Yeah.
but I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did text the group chat right after, as we were finishing the second half, fairly quick after we recorded the first half, in all caps, that I had a theory. And I was pissed because I didn't say the theory on the podcast. I didn't think of it. But I remember our theories were that Saris was the heir, the lost heir, and Kingfisher's mate. And then our other theory was that Elroy was Kingfisher's dad. And my theory was that Elroy was sent to Zelvarin to protect Saris because she was the lost heir. I'm not willing to die on the hill, but I will die on this hill. Elroy is Kingfisher's dad. That theory, not accurate anymore after we have finished the book. However, I still do think that Elroy is Kingfisher's dad.
It could still happen.
It could still happen. Yeah.
Hard believing.
And I feel like his presence in the first part of the book is kind of like she wants us to remember Elroy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
You know,
For
I'm
sure.
with you. Do you have any new theories, Kels, for the rest of the series?
Not really. I do think that the vampire fae prince or whatever, Taladeus, I think he's gonna morph into like one of the bigger characters. I mean, obviously
see
he
that.
saves Saris at the end by turning her. But
Yeah.
I
But
feel
remember,
like he's
she's
gonna
neither
play a
fae
role.
nor vampire now.
Yeah, she's neither. She's something.
Her own breed.
Yeah.
Do you think she
So-
was ever fae? Because I was dead set on she has to be fae. She has to be fae to work with the Quicksilver.
Remember
god
when
or
she
whatever.
died? Yeah, the god of chaos.
So she was supposed to be fae, and then
Right.
he changed the fates and made her human in another realm. So
Right.
she should have been fae, but I don't think she was ever part fae. Though I don't know how she really got that magic in there.
That's what I mean. Because, well, unless maybe it's just like it's literally fate said, no, she has to have this ability. And so it made an exception to give it to a human. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know.
intrigued.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's interesting.
we were right on our two theories or one theory. Fated Mates we were right on.
Fated Mates we were absolutely right on.
That was an easy one though. That was
that was an easy
We hit that one out of the park.
And then our other one was we thought she was the heir. She was not the heir.
Right.
Carrion Swift was the heir.
I
Just
didn't see that
hiding his
coming.
ass away. I didn't see it coming either. He was just
so
hiding.
I knew he
confident
was
about
going to
it,
be
too.
important
Thousands of
because
years.
why would?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, like why would I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean Carrion Swift just hiding away with his random family in the other realm for 1,000 years, which I question because apparently he's been in the one district or whatever of that realm for like over 1,000 years. That seems how did no one notice this guy?
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
not
especially with the
aging or
name
whatever.
he's made for himself too.
Yeah.
With all his hoeing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him though. I liked him from the start.
Well, yeah.
I think he's fun.
He's hard not to like. He's one of those
Hayden,
characters
on the other hand, has some ground to cover.
Yeah.
If he wants to make a comeback for me.
Yeah.
But we didn't really see anything of Hayden, so like she still has to get back to Zelvarin to see Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I saw something that said that she can't travel through Quicksilver anymore. I'm like, did we know this? I saw something on TikTok of like she can't because she's like her own breed or some weird shit. So then she has to send someone else to go get her brother.
Well, she was a human though. when she
Yeah.
went in the first time.
I just saw that on TikTok. I was like, is this something we're supposed to know or not? Is this just your
I'm
theory that
wondering-
you've come up with?
I'm wondering if it's because, remember Kingfisher said that Quicksilver, the relics are always made of something that is meaningful to the person wearing it.
Mhm.
She don't have anything meaningful there. So maybe
That's true.
she can't, and that's how it works. So maybe she can't create a Quicksilver relic for herself because she doesn't have anything meaningful in that realm.
Maybe. I feel like she could find something meaningful. I mean, like anything like Kingfisher gave her or something. I feel like that would be meaningful.
Maybe that ring
maybe
will come
it's
back into play.
Maybe it's a vampire thing, because do the vampires go through Quicksilver? Ever? I don't think they do.
No, I don't think we got more. I think we need more information on that breed. And I think that Tabaran, whoever saved, I can't say his name. It's one of those names that Taladeus.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was one of those names that as I read it, I went,
Like, that's what it looks like. Nobody knows what it sounds like.
That person who is a vampire. I think maybe he is going to be able to answer those questions in the second book, because like we know nothing about the vampire breed beyond what Kingfisher said. Like they can't survive, like they can't swim. So that's why they broke the ice on the river.
Yeah.
Any other themes that you think are going to come back to us in the second book? I have one.
What?
Themes,
yeah.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, she'll inherit a army of vampires.
Yeah.
So she's
a queen now.
She's a queen now. So that's interesting. I'll enjoy that, I think. But what's yours?
I think, because we saw it only came up 2 or 3 times, but I think the whole she basically got sterilized thing is gonna play a bigger role. And I don't know if it's like when she met the god of chaos, if he like recreated her so she can now have babies or what.
Maybe.
But it's definitely gonna play a bigger role, because remember she told Kingfisher that it happened, and then when Kingfisher confronted Madra, he was like, you sterilized my mate. And he was pissed.
Yeah. That's gonna come back for sure. Yeah.
And there was so many other things going on at that point that I'm like, that is not a thing that we need to worry about right now, unless it's gonna replay
back. Yeah.
In the future. Yeah.
Ooh, are we gonna get a
We're gonna get a little baby, half vampire, half fae?
Yeah.
Probably.
What's that percentage? 1/4 vampire?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I don't know, that would be wild. They're like in the middle of a war and they're gonna have a baby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's not have it be like a Renesmee situation though.
Ugh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's not do that.
Oh, Renesmee.
I feel like she's getting like she's getting like super close to these terrible things that happened in previous books, and then just
veering off right at the last.
Like the siblings thing, like she's getting really close, and then
no, it's not.
You're bringing up my past trauma here, Callie Hart.
She is. It's like, that's too close, girl.
He's too close.
That's funny. Do you guys want to talk about quotes?
Sure. Yeah. And I was just saying, I feel like oh, wait, real quick before we do quotes. Can we talk about how Dea's hand got cut off? And I was kind of actually happy that happened.
I know. I was like, don't grow it back.
I know.
Leave her one-handed.
Also, that she lost her sword.
Oh yeah, that was
I know. I loved that moment. Like,
I think that when the Quicksilver stole the song from existence, I think that was pretty. Like, it was really telling in how powerful the Quicksilver is.
Yeah,
because obviously, I foresee that she's going to make a bargain that she can't fulfill with the Quicksilver. Probably to draw it out of his face.
No, but remember his healer and that witch have been slowly drawing the Quicksilver out of his face.
Yeah, but there's got to be more to it. Like, that can't be endgame. She wouldn't have that be an essential
also
part of
the
the story unless it
Quicksilver-
was going to develop into something more elaborate. Not just like, oh, well, we finally found a healer. You know?
I don't know. I don't think the Quicksilver will ever leave him because they say that like they need to be together in order for him to live.
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This
I don't know.
Quicksilver's wild as shit.
Yeah, the Quicksilver's directly linked to the gods too. So crazy stuff.
Quotes. I have 2 quotes. I think one just
I also
'cause
have
it's
2
funny.
quotes.
Let me do the funny one first. Oh my gosh, when she's fighting, this made me cackle. When she's fighting Heron in the last thing, because surprise, Heron's not dead. He comes back and he's fighting her in this pit or whatever the fuck it is, and he says, death has forgotten me, bitch, my name is nowhere on its register. And then she fights him, and it says, feigning shock, I said, wait a minute, I think death just remembered your name, Heron. And then I snapped his neck.
Yeah, she's cool.
So funny.
That was a moment.
Just remembered your name.
Yeah,
fucking love it.
I really like her.
She has her badass moments. I feel like, I mean, I get she's a human being or whatever, so she has to like write it as somewhat believable, but I feel like she has like moments of badass and then it just like swings the other way.
Yeah, of just naive,
yeah,
you should know this
naive
kind of
or
shit.
badass, or naive or badass. I'm like, just
I get it.
kind of merge here, and then I'd be super into it. So then my real quote is, she said, when I needed you most, you'd come blazing into my life like a meteorite, riding on a wave of chaos that would turn my whole world upside down, that you'd shine so brightly that you'd light up hell itself and guide me out of the darkness. She had no idea what your name would be, just that you'd have dark hair and a beautiful smile, and I'd love you with a fierceness despite myself.
Aww.
That's cute.
That was an intense quote, an intense moment.
Yeah,
that's a good one. What do you have, Chan?
Well, I, like the both of you, have 2. And also, like Kelsey, one of mine is kind of a silly one. It was in chapter 27. And she goes, side note, Fisher and I were now randomly capable of speaking into each other's minds. I was like, no shit, girl. Random.
Interesting.
That's weird. Can't imagine why you'd be able to speak into his mind.
Weird. Wonder what that's about.
And then my quote is actually what Renfist said. They were on like this battlefield. Morgan's like, you stole my quote.
You did? You stole my quote?
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
But the way you looked at me, I was like, oh shit.
Go ahead.
No, they're on the battlefield, and she said, and he goes, don't you dare die on my watch, Sarah's Fane. Fisher will never forgive me if his sole reason for living is torn into pieces on our first fucking battlefield.
Yeah.
I love that moment because not only is it Renfist and he's amazing, but I also highlighted it because like it just speaks to volumes how everybody around the camp knows that this is like a for sure deal, and they're waiting for those 2 to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or not really those 2, they're waiting for Sarah to figure it out.
Yeah.
Fisher knows.
Fisher's in on the joke the whole time, from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2. Here, I'll do this one first. It was chapter 23, and I think she was talking to Carrion, and Fisher overheard. And he called her Sunshine. And Fisher got pissed, and he said, don't call her that.
One too.
And he said, because she is moonlight, the mist that shrouds the mountains, the bite of electricity in the air before a storm, the smoke that rolls across a battlefield before the killing starts. You have no idea what she is, what she could be. You should call her Majesty.
Ooh. Yeah,
I felt like that was some major foreshadowing.
Yeah, that is Majesty.
Yeah, because I mean, she does. I mean, at the end, she's 2 days away from her own coronation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was fun. And then, so this one was right before the battle. They are being attacked, and it was they finally agree to let Saris join the battle. And Fisher says, "Be unrelenting and unmerciful in the face of wicked dead." Fisher said, "Ren laid a steady hand on my shoulder, and if you should find souls sundered from flesh, offer a drink." Oh gosh, I'm butchering this. "Order a drink for us, the first tavern you come across in the afterlife, and we'll settle the tab when we get there."
Ugh.
Yes, I love it.
I just loved that so much. I don't even know why
Mhm.
I did.
It's good.
No, it's a
It's
good
just
one.
nice. It's just so cool.
I will say to anyone who's listening to this, Morgan sent this in the group chat before I had read this part.
Whoopsie.
And then I read this part, and then I was terrified that Ren was gonna die because she told me she was crying in the middle of her workday about this quote, and I thought I had read it. I thought I had read it, and that then Ren was about to die, and so I was like, "Oh my god!" I kept thinking that for chapters and chapters, and then I finally texted them and said, "Is that it? Is that all you were talking about?" And yeah, so yeah, I was a little worried.
That was it.
For
Brought a
a
little
hard
tear
moment.
to my eye. I don't know, just
It's a good
copyright, I
one.
guess.
It's
No,
a good
but
one.
Ren lives.
Ren lives.
Okay.
Thank God.
I am scared that Callie Hart is going to rip our fucking souls out in the next book.
It's
Not gonna lie
possible.
to you. I'm scared.
Could be. I
I'm
mean,
kinda scared
yeah.
of Callie Hart.
How do you guys feel about development? Kelsey, hit me.
I mean, like, character developments, I you know how I feel about Saris already, because I've said I
Yeah.
love her badassness, but then it just goes back and forth. I love Carrion. I think he's great, and I think that the bromances maybe that will come up in this series are going to be really good.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the Carrion and Ren and whatever that other guy's name is. He was fucking good too.
Lorith.
Yeah, Lorith. He was good too. However, I'm not that into Kingfisher. So many people on like TikTok are like, "Oh my god, Kingfisher's my guy." And I'm like, I feel like he's just like a lesser Rhysand.
Yeah.
He's
I get
very
it.
much copy and paste, maybe a little bit darker in what he says at the beginning of this book, but yeah. So I just am tired of like the males that are like broody and mean like this in the beginning, but it's for this exact reason, because they don't want to give into this mate thing and they don't want to tell her thing. But then as soon as like they just accept the bond, he's just, you know, happy. I mean, not happy go lucky.
Yeah.
He's not happy go
Like
lucky.
it was,
but he just turns, and it was just all like a facade, and he's just
yeah, it was like a switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super in love with her.
That was
and
my ick.
Now fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Is how how fucking mean to her he was in the beginning. Like I knew that he was the primary love interest, but it definitely didn't feel that way. Like he fucking, what did he call her? Like a
hungry little, a needy little bitch.
Something in
a
heat.
needy little
Yeah.
bitch.
In heat.
And just fucking crazy shit. But there was nothing like, I don't know. And then he completely switched up once we got a little bit further into the book, which, I mean, like, I understand that's part of the transition into romance, but it was so abrupt that it just took me out of the book a little.
I also, because she kind of plays this as like an enemies to lovers, but the whole like beginning of this, Kingfisher comes in, saves her by bringing her back to his realm, and then for a while all he does is ignore her.
Yeah.
But all she talks about is how much she hates him. I'm like, why do you hate him so much? I feel like the hate was there for no reason for a little while, and then he started being mean, and I was like, okay, you can hate him, but then switch flipped so drastically, and I just feel like he's just a copy paste Rhysand, which Rhysand isn't even my favorite to begin with, so
yeah,
he just kind of fell flat.
It's true.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chan?
I agree with you guys that the flip for Kingfisher was pretty abrupt. I do like once he gave in and he stopped fighting it, it was pretty like his only reason for living, that kind of shit. I do really like Lornith and Saris's relationship. I'm excited to see that continue to develop because I think he's going to be like a Cassian, I guess. If we're copy pasting ACOTAR people, I feel like he's going to be the Cassian to the Feyre, if Saris is Feyre, you know? And Renfis is going to be the wise old Asriel.
Love it.
Kinda.
Love that for him. Love that for him. I love Ren.
I do too.
And you love As.
I love Asriel. Asriel is my favorite.
Yeah, see, I love
I will die on that hill.
Lorith and I love Cass. So that
Same.
adds up.
Yeah. That's right.
I do want, okay, fantasy authors out there, if you listen ever at one point in your life, make a fantasy book where the male main character is like Carrion. I think that kind of book would be amazing. Like, it would be such a good read, like a funny, caring, like all around Carrion, Swift, male main character, and a sassy female main character would be chef's kiss.
I feel like that's pretty close to like Cassian.
Yeah, it is. He just
It's a
doesn't
little
help.
close to Cassian.
Yeah.
But he's not a
It
like
is,
a hoe. Yeah.
but okay, but neither one of you read Court of Thorns and
Here we go.
Flames.
Hope you guys are ready for an extra long episode today. We're about to hit 3 hours on this argument. Jesus.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes.
While in the other books, Cassian does give the funny golden retriever guy, he does not give it in Silver Flames.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in this group who has read it, and I'm the only one who can say it.
Okay.
And Nesta is just,
I can see that.
She's kind of a bitch in Silver Flames.
Kind of. She's kind of a bitch.
Kind of. Okay, so
She's
she's
not
more
sassy.
than sassy.
She's just a bitch.
She's more. Yeah, she's just a bitch.
Yeah, she's just a bitch.
So.
But he is not the funny, caring guy that he is in all the other books. He is.
Yeah.
He's much more intense in Silver Flames.
Well,
and I think that's what makes...
That should be a video.
It should be a video.
It should be a video,
We're
for
gonna
sure.
have to set
But
aside
also-
some time.
But also, we need to, maybe that should be a video. We need to ask our readers, do you have a fantasy book with a Carrion Swift as a main male character?
That's an
Because
excellent.
we will read that.
We will.
Absolutely. Speaking of Carrion, I think it's so fucking hilarious that he's the one who figured out the Quicksilver thing. He just willy-nilly was just like, why don't you just ask the Quicksilver if you can talk to it? Why don't you just ask it?
Yeah, I really
And then
like
I love
him.
Saris's response to it. She's like, if he fucking does this, he's never gonna let me hear the end of it if this
What the
is
fuck?
right.
What happens if he's right?
Yeah, and then he was right. I thought that was hilarious. But maybe he knew something about it since he was the lost heir or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I also loved when Malcolm bit him and was dying, and he was like, see, this is what happens when you don't let me introduce myself properly. Like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Carrion. He's so funny. Yes. We definitely need a Carrion MMC.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I love
Or
how
like
just like
Carrion POV.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Absolutely. Let's get some more POVs next book.
I bet his,
I would love
his
Carrion.
mind is fucking hilarious.
I bet so, yeah.
Can you imagine the little quips he's
Yeah.
not saying out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Kind of
fun.
like Riddick. Can you imagine the quips
I was
that
just about to
Riddick
say,
is not saying out
He's
loud?
he's very Riddick coded.
He is. That would be fun.
That would be good, yeah.
Do any of you guys have anything else to add about Quicksilver? We're here for book number... Oh, we got to rate.
Oh,
we got a star rate.
Yeah.
Let's see, we went over. Did we do X?
Yeah, we kind
we kind of talked about our icks. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have icks, just kind of like dislikes. But I think we talked about it. Romance was too quick. Oh yeah, people on TikTok were calling it a medium burn. I'm like, I feel like it's not even that. It's like a mild tension.
Yeah.
For half of a book. That's it. That doesn't make it a medium burn. That doesn't make it a burn at all. Okay? Let's chill. And then Kingfisher was a little bland. And then the only other thing that I had that I didn't really like, it really did, someone called it romantasy soup. And I'm like,
romantasy what?
Soup. Like it was just like a whole bunch of like romantasy tropes and
different elements. Okay.
Yeah, just like if you're looking for like if you're looking for a romantasy that is like pure romantasy, like all of the things that are like in a romantasy, this is like it. And it just seemed like she was just kind of throwing everything in there. I feel like she was doing all the tropes kind of, but then it just felt a little regurgitation of everything that is out there. Like there's themes of like all the different books that we've read. Like we talked about Fourth Wing and ACOTAR and stuff. And then I read somewhere that she wrote this whole thing in like 6 weeks, and I was like, well, that tracks.
That checks out. Yeah,
that checks out. I could see it.
Holy crap! She wrote 600 pages in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's man. Good for her, girl. And honestly, it was a fun time. Like I read the whole thing in a few days, and I will probably keep reading it. But it's just all of the other books that we read basically. And then I felt like the cliff at the end was like out of left field. Like there's no like lead up to that. And then I feel like she almost had to do it because she made Carrie in the air. She was like, oh, I gotta throw something else in there to do something like just different kind of for her. And it just it just didn't make sense to me. But that's the only other thing I had.
All right, Kelsey, what's your rate?
So my rate, the other day I realized that we are not forced to submit by the Goodreads and Storybook ratings of 0.25s increments. So I'm going to give this book a 3.9 because
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, because 4 stars is my reread ability. I will never reread this book, but I will probably continue it. It was a fun ride. I love Carrion. I love Ren. I can't wait to see where that goes. It's going to be interesting to see where the plot goes, but I don't really like the FMC that much. I don't really like the MMC that much. And it was just like I just couldn't get fully into it because of how much was pulled like from other stories that I've already read. So
sure.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Morgan?
Oh, well, I'm a little different.
Yeah.
I super, super, super enjoyed it. I think the writing's fun. I agree with you. Some of it's really forced. And I just don't, in my brain, vampire and fae are of separate universes. Like, I don't love that they're together. I think that doesn't make sense. I don't super love how, I mean, we kind of touched on everything I have issues with already, but like the love story from you're crazy fucking bitch to I'm in love with you, it was just very abrupt and not fluid at all, kind of. That being said, I super enjoyed it. I love the FMC. I enjoy Fisher now, and I love pretty much every side character we've met in the whole book. So I went 4.75, which is my highest rating of the year so far. So, what do you got, Chan?
Well, I also went pretty high. Like Morgan said, she loved the side. I loved the side characters as well. I did love the FMC. I did think there were parts where she was naive, and that was a little annoying, but it wasn't enough to like downgrade my rate. Same thing about Fisher. I didn't love the beginning and how he was. I think if we would have had a Fisher POV in the beginning, it would have made, she would have been able to put more intrigue and would have been able to make that make a little bit more sense if there was a Fisher POV in the beginning and we were able to see what he is thinking, because we aren't really seeing what he's thinking. We're seeing what he's thinking based off of Saris's POV. And so I think I'm a dual POV person though anyways, so I love to see what the male is thinking as well as the female. I love all the side characters. I did think I did see a lot of the parallels, but I also saw something that she didn't really do that she did that I haven't seen before, which was the Fae and the vampires mixing in their world. I've seen them be in the same world, but I've never seen them be same breed in that way specifically. So I enjoyed that part. I know that Morgan's brain didn't enjoy that part, but I enjoyed that part. That being said, everything that she went through, all of the icks and the things that I didn't like, it wasn't enough for me to downgrade my rate, and I did go 5 stars.
Whoa.
Oh.
5 stars, Chan.
Wow.
This is a book I would highly recommend to anybody who likes food fantasy. This is, it was probably it's only the 9th day of the month, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be my favorite read for November or February. So that's
Dang.
Nice.
I like it. I wish that in my 5-star ratings are reserved for like my life-changing books that I like. You know how some people have like the God tier book above a 5-star? I can't do that in my brain. And so 5-star is like the Throne of Glass and you know, like all of the ones that I can't, like I just reread 100,000 times.
Yeah.
So that's why I went 4.75. But I loved it.
For me, my 5-star rate has to be a book that I would read it, pick it back up and read it again. Pick it back up and read it again. Like, there's not many books like that out there for me. Like, I have Iron Flame. Onyx was one of those. Crescent City, I think 2 was my 5-star book. But it was just that book that I would put back down and pick it up and immediately start reading it again. And get lost in the world all over again. And like, that's how I rate a 5-star, I guess.
I like it. I'll definitely reread. I bought a trophy copy. I e-read it on my Kindle, and I bought a trophy copy right away. So,
believe me, when I get to my new country, I will also be buying a trophy copy.
I'm excited.
I have a list of trophy books
Nice.
for when I get to my new country.
Perfect.
I'm excited.
Perfect. All right.
Kelsey, what are we doing
else? Now? For next week, we are going to read A Kiss of Iron by Claire Sager. It's the first in the Shadows of the Tenebrous Court. So we're going to read this first one, chapters 1 through 41. That's what I said, I think. Chapters 1 through 41 for next week. And then we're going to see how we feel with this first book. And we may continue on with the series, do a whole series for the pod. So, but for now, first half of the first book. I think that's it. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you liked our ramblings, please tune in next week and follow us on social media. Book recs and drink recs are always welcome. Until next time.